Game recognized game.
I was a grown man on the baseball field. They just cut me.
I don't want to think, is that Gunther?
So, I wanted to learn so much because I wanted to play.
They ain't gonna get that kind of money no more. Like they gonna have to work a job, man.
You one of them. This my ball. I'm going home.
I don't understand because it's about winning, isn't it?
My thing about the whole Luka thing is that you should never be out of shape.
All facts, no filter. Welcome back to another episode of Game Recognized Game. All facts, no filter. We're bringing you the hottest takes, the brightest highlights, and of course, our picking winners. I'm first things first. Don't forget the coach. Then comes Mo. Rolling with my guys, Dale and DB. What's up, fellas?
What's
All
up?
right. How you doing?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Man, good, man. Good to see y'all. Hey, DB already crying, but we ain't gonna say nothing about it, man. I ain't gonna get to it. He already crying about his picking winners. And we got it on tape, man.
We got it on tape.
Audio.
I said Wakanda forever.
What does that mean?
Huh?
I don't know. What is Wakanda?
The Jaguars, man. Jaguars, man. Was
all right. Like I said, we gonna keep
Jaguars,
it going.
Any cats?
Any cats now? See what
It's gonna be a cat coming in this week. Another cat coming in this week. It's a lion. They from Detroit.
Here we go. Hey, we've got NFL Week 5 recap, NCAA football, Week 6 results, WNBA playoff push, Major League Baseball playoffs, and don't forget, today we got a special guest, Jeffri Chadiha. All right, so buckle up and let's get into it. First, I'm going to ask Jeff, I'm going to just start off. I'm going to ask you a quick, how you doing? Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being here, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to just break it down. So when you're not breaking down NFL storylines, what's one random thing that you love doing that would probably surprise people?
Oh, I got into swimming a couple years ago. So I would never been a big swimmer. DB knows we used to play ball back in the day all the time in the mornings over at our gym. And one day I was just hanging out in the hot tub on a Saturday morning watching people swim. And, I knew how to swim, but I was kind of thinking, all right, I'm getting older. Maybe I need to try something else out. And so I talked to the guy who was running the class, big black guy. He had like 4 or 5 swimmers in there, older people. And he said, hey, man, if you want to give it a shot, just come in here, check it out. And so I was like, okay, I'm competitive. I get in the pool a week later. He just says, hey, all right, we're going to do four 400s. And I'm like, okay, let's go. First 2 times down, man, all of a sudden my heart was jumping out my chest. Like standing up in the pool, I'm like cramping up. I'm thinking, this is easy. I'm like, I'm gonna handle this. And all of a sudden, man, people were going back and forth, and I was like, bro, I'm embarrassing myself here. But thankfully, he said, hey, man, it happens the first time out. Just do 50. You'll get the hang of it. And slowly but surely, man, I became one of those people who went out and got the tight swim trunks and got the flippers and got the snorkel and all this stuff. And so I'm deep into it now. But it's really good, man, because it's like meditation. When you're in the water and you really it's like when you're playing basketball, you're really trying to refine your jump shot and your handle and all that stuff. It's the same thing with that. You're trying to always work on your stroke. So I'm a hardcore swimmer now.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't seen him on a basketball court since I started swimming.
Well, DB said just quit playing basketball because he used to whoop on you, but
no,
I couldn't get no shots. That was the problem. On the court.
Everybody has a role, but Jeff knows this. Jeff will attest to this. Ask him how many championships he's won at Lifetime Fitness. How many? Ask him.
That's true. We 2-0, I think. We've got a couple.
Well, the other 2, I had to go to China. So we've been the number 1 seed 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some titles, man.
Hey, man,
it's called Screen, and I think about that role.
Think about the role.
Yeah, he maximizes Jeffri. DB plays free throw line to free throw line. He ain't going deeper than the free. He's stopping. He's jacking threes.
Yeah.
Well, but hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all. No, nothing at all. Nothing at all. But my point, though, I appreciate Jeff coming on. And Jeff and I have been friends since I moved here. But I was friends with his brother before I met Jeff. Jeff's twin brother played baseball at Michigan State. And Jeff just happened to go to the other school. And he's the only person from the University of Michigan that I even associate with. Probably in my phone.
You like Dusty May, though.
Yeah. But he didn't go there. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
But he's part of it now. He's part of the family now.
IU. He is part of y'all family. Yeah, and I do like Dusty is my boy too, but You know, on a consistent basis, JC is the only one I talk to.
We growing it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk a little NCAA football Week 6 recap. Let's rewind this college season, man. We had some pure chaos a little bit this week. Upsets galore. UCLA stunned number 7 Penn State, 42-37.
Yeah, that's the upset of all upsets.
Huh?
That's the upset of all upsets.
Man.
UCLA hadn't won a game.
Right.
Were they 24.5 favorites?
And fired the coach, a couple weeks ago, too.
Right.
Yeah, fired the coach,
Yeah.
Yep.
He going to get a win.
Is the coach now.
Is he?
That's who the
That's
coach
why he was going crazy?
Yeah, that's who the coach. Rick Newhouse's son is the coach.
Yeah, look just like Coach Newhouse.
named Jerry.
Yep.
Hey, it snapped a 34-game win streak versus unranked teams.
Yeah.
So they lost to an unranked team.
Yeah.
Right after they get a new coach.
James Franklin, he was in press conference talking about, he didn't feel that they got over the whole Oregon game, and I was like, well, man, whose job is that to get it
right? Whose fault is that? Right.
It makes you wonder too, like his situation, man. He hasn't won a big game there in forever, and now you're losing games people you're supposed to beat.
Right.
Yeah.
And at what point did people start saying, "Well, you the right man for the job, or what?" Because you got a nice record.
Yeah.
When you play in the big games, you know how it is.
Yeah,
It's
Right.
Yeah, right.
Are you the problem?
Yeah.
So he got that Marty Schottenheimer too.
Yeah.
They start thinking about that now. I know some Penn State fans, and they like, hey, how are we gonna get out of this contract?
Yeah.
They think it's up to the 2030. They got 5 more years of this contract. How do they buy it out?
Yeah.
I tell them, well, you get a lot of money in the Big Ten, you can buy it out real easy.
Yeah.
But that's part of it too, right? Because you got so much money going to the players now. The coaches get these big salaries. It's like the time that you have to build something.
Yep.
You've been there long enough to have won something, right? And so
Right.
to me, it's like we don't talk enough about how that pressure that you can go and buy players now puts on coaches to be more successful, right? If they're not doing it, then it's like we'll find somebody else who can buy players and coach these kids.
Yeah.
Hey.
Go ahead. My bad.
No, if you want to go.
No,
I was going to move to another game.
Oh, okay.
I was going to talk about
the KU football.
No, I wasn't going to go. But since you brought it up.
You a KU guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Jayhawks, yeah. But I really was going to that. Florida took down number 9 Texas, 29-21. I was going to that game. That was another one that I didn't see happening. And Florida they didn't look the greatest, but Texas didn't look too good.
Hey, all I know is that Billy Napier was coaching for his job.
Yeah.
And now Sarkisian, he's talking about, well, you go to Ohio State, you go to the swamp. Man, it's on the schedule. You got to play the games. You can't be complaining after you lost.
Yeah.
You got to come ready. Wasn't Texas number 1 to start the season?
Yes.
1 or 2.
They were 1 when they played Ohio State first, right?
Yep.
Right? So you coming in, you're projected to be the national champion. And you poop the bed at Florida, a team that's teetering, struggling. They don't know if their coach going to be there. And then you only just, well, I had to play at Ohio State and we had to play at Florida. We didn't make your schedule.
Yeah. I always look at it this way. You got to play whatever game it is that's on the schedule. You got to play whatever team. And if you'd have won, would you have said that?
Right.
He wouldn't have said that if he won.
Right. That's true.
Right.
Also, those guys are making so much money
They are.
that they shouldn't complain about anything. Their whole attitude should be, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. Because that's what they're getting paid for. There's so much money in the game now. These coaches, they don't have an excuse anymore. They really don't.
Oh, that and you holding on to Peyton Manning's nephew, who's supposed to be the best quarterback in the country at some point. Supposed to be a kid who's supposed to be on his way to being the top pick in the draft, and he's not looking so good right now. And so Sarkisian is supposed to be known for taking care of quarterback. Either the quarterback was overrated, or you're not coaching them right.
Right.
Either way, it's like they're 3-2, and I haven't heard anybody talk. Heard a lot of Archman talk before the season. I haven't heard much since.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah. I piggyback that too, Jeff, and I say that he played better last year as a backup than he is playing this year as a starter. He did. Remember, he came in last year, won a big game against Oklahoma.
Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss and Oklahoma.
Yeah, he played better in the Red River rivalry than he has as a starting quarterback. So they got some things to get fixed down there, and they got a lot of money.
Well, you know what they say. Pressure make a pipe bust.
Sure does.
Yeah, pressure does. No. Cincinnati upset number 14 Iowa State. Michigan handled Wisconsin 24-10.
They're gonna get Luke Fickell fired, man.
He's getting himself fired. He doing a good job all by himself.
That game started off, Jeff. I don't know how you feel about it, but that game started off as a typical Big Ten slugfest. Early on it was slugfest, going back and forth, field position, and then all of a sudden, Wisconsin just like, you know what? Yeah, we don't even want to play no more. We don't even want to play. You know what? 4th and 1, we're gonna try to throw it. We're gonna throw it 10 yards down the field and see if we can get a first down.
Yeah, we played our hand. But you know what, too? I was at their pro day, Michigan's pro day back in the spring, and I was talking to some of their coaches, one of the guys who's on the staff with Sharon, and I was saying, I think Sharon learned a valuable lesson last year when he had these quarterbacks that couldn't play. So when you're the assistant coach, Delaware probably knows this. When you're the assistant coach, you got to let everybody up, make them feel good, get their confidence.
Yeah.
You're the head coach, you look at these guys like, Joker might get me fired.
Right.
He's going to go find some players.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't care about Kyle. I care about guys who can play.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he went and got some guys who can play. Now they're winning games again because he's not trying to let people up.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my keys to my car. That's what Mike Jarvis said in it was a behind the scenes looking at 2000 St. John's. This one kid was like, hey, he's like, hey, he was like, talking about kids who could shoot threes. And then one kid, the freshman, raised his hand, hey, coach, you should add my name to the list. He was like, nah, Eric, I'm not. I would like to keep the keys to my car. He said it right to him. And I was like, dang, coach. He was like, nah. He was like, nah, Eric, I will not add your name to that list. I would like to keep the keys to my car. I said, that's one of the most honest answers I've ever heard a coach tell a player.
Man, it's true. I tell players all the time, coach has a job.
Yeah.
And he's not going to jeopardize it just giving you a chance.
Yep.
When he giving you a chance, should not jeopardize his job. Give you a chance, supposed to enhance his job.
Right.
So he's not taking a chance on you. Yeah.
Hey,
we speaking of Michigan. You grew up in Michigan, Jeff?
Ann Arbor. Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor. Yeah.
Okay. So let's rewind the clock a bit. What was life like growing up in Michigan, and where did sports first start creeping into your story?
I always tell people I love Michigan. I love the Midwest, because for me it was like I love the culture, the attitude. I feel like when I've lived in New York City, lived in California, I feel like people from the Midwest, I think Indiana's this way, Illinois, Wisconsin, I think it's about getting down and dirty, about respect and your reputation. So I feel like those were great values I learned coming up where I grew up. And then once I got into sports, late. I didn't start playing organized sports until I was 11. Okay. I got a 12-year-old son. He's been playing since he was 4 or 5.
Okay.
But I got in organized sports 11. I ended up I grew up in a 50-50 black mixed school district, and then I went to a Catholic high school in Detroit that was in the Detroit Catholic League in Ann Arbor. And from there I learned about being, one of the few black kids in a white school, have to adjust to that. But I was fortunate enough to get a football scholarship out of it to go to Wyoming, and then I ended up tearing my knees up, came back to Michigan, got my degree. But to me, the whole experience, I go back and think about that, just the things I learned going through all these ups and downs in my life moving forward were always valuable lessons that really came in handy. So whenever I felt like I was struggling, it was always, let me come back home, see my people, get around my culture, and always got me right.
Yep.
Man. So from college chaos to court dominance, the WNBA finals are heating up. The series is 2-0. The Aces lead the Mercury. They got a game tonight. The Aces play the Mercury at 7 p.m. let's talk about the game 2 highlights. What you think about that, Dale?
Well, I think that the Aces are showing their true colors. I think that uh, I wouldn't be surprised if they sweep this series. Um, I think they have the Mercury's number, regardless of how the game starts or what goes on during the game. I think they just know uh, in their minds that they're not going to lose to them, that they can't beat them. And Damon can attest to this. When we pick up, sometimes the other team may get out to a fast start, but in your head, all right, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. And they're not going to beat us. It's just that simple. And I think that's where the Aces are right now. They've been there before. They've already won the championships before. And I just think that they're going to close out the series.
Yeah, and I agree. I look at Jackie Young, had a finals record 21 points in the third quarter and ended up with 32. And then you can't forget about that woman, Asia. She added 28 and 14.
Right.
They just in rare form, and she's playing at such a high level that everyone else is playing at that high level. And it's kind of like shark in the water, they smell blood.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Phoenix right now, they're relying on Copper a lot. Right now, Thomas is not having the best series. And the reason being is that they're playing off of her. When she drives, she goes right every time. And if she goes left, she's spinning back to the right. So the scouting report is out on Thomas, who, is the cog in the wheel. As far as everybody else, Sabali, she played well last game, but she didn't get going till late. And the Aces had built a 19, 20-point lead midway through the fourth quarter. So it's going to be really tough for the Mercury to try to come back and do anything in this series. It may be what we call the gentleman's sweep, a 4-1, but I don't see them coming back, and the Aces are now hitting on all cylinders. They have somebody coming off the bench that led the league and that led the WNBA in scoring.
Right.
Right. Lloyd.
Yeah.
Jewel Lloyd, WNBA in scoring 2 years ago. Yeah. She comes off the bench. Man, so they got a lot of different they got a lot of talent and a lot of ways to beat you. But they've been playing a good defense, and Alicia Gray has been playing a lot better. She got that old man run, but she be balling though.
Yeah, and Becky Hammond's a good coach. She stays after. She stays after.
Yeah.
They got that. They've just got a good overall team, from the coaching staff to the front office to the players.
Yeah.
They've all really bought into the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
That's in there. And I think even with this 4 games now, the best of 7, having to win 4, I think they still show their dominance. Like it didn't matter if it was going to be the best of 5 or the best of 7.
Yeah.
They were going to be the first one to get there.
Yeah. Now, if we can only get WNBA upper management to get the league smoothed out, we'll be all right.
Well, yeah, that's
just got to get it smoothed out.
It's definitely they definitely got some things they got to work.
They do.
They definitely do. Jeff, you've covered locker rooms, a lot of different ones. What do you remember about those early days in the league and carving out your own space?
I remember it meant a lot to have been a player. I think that helped with the credibility. I feel like sometimes when you go on, especially professional locker rooms, like walking into a jail sometimes. Like everybody's kind of checking you out, seeing how ready you are, seeing if you're weak or strong, or you can be intimidated and all that. And so I never felt any of that because I felt like, okay, I've been around guys who played in the league. I've been around guys who, certainly in college, I had friends who made it to the league. So I was never really fearful of that. But I saw a lot of people who were. And so I think that always helped. And I think my experience getting hurt, my career ending before I wanted to end, helped me understand the vulnerability of athletes. I was able to talk to guys on that level as well, which they could appreciate. Like, even I remember, like, going to an NBA, I was doing a story on LeBron, going around his agent when he was a rookie. And I remember going to Portland, and I was talking to some people up there about the locker rooms. I had to go do some interviews, and they said, oh, it's tough in there. Guys don't want to talk. They're kind of moody and this and that. And so I remember walking in there, and it was like Sharif Abdur-Rahim was on that team, and Damon Stoudemire and some other guy. I just sat down and started talking to them. And they just started talking to me. I don't know if that was because I was a young black guy or, you know, I wasn't I wasn't a college basketball or pro basketball player, but I think I was talking to them at a level they understood.
Right.
I've always felt like when you talk to athletes, you talk to them like they're intelligent. You talk to them like they have, like they're humans.
Right.
And that opens up the conversation. So I felt like that always helped me with my career wherever I went, whatever sport I was covering. And so I've always tried to tell young people the same thing, like just be you, don't be scared, and treat people like they're people.
I like that.
Well, Jeff, it's all in the name of our show.
Yeah.
It's all in the name of our show. Game, recognize, game.
Exactly.
They recognize that you were about the game. You had an understanding. So that's why they gravitated to you and was able to talk to you, where those other guys were afraid to go in there because they had no idea or understanding of what it takes to play at that level.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I think athletes just understand other athletes.
Yeah.
So whether it was basketball, football, baseball, a high-level athlete playing, they can tell that just by the conversation, the way you carry yourself, and then how you speak to them.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people, like, athletes are very, people get caught up in like the running and the jumping and all that stuff, the physical part, but athletes are very intuitive. And I think when you're with guys who play at a high level, you can see how they spot things, how they pick things up fast, how they check things out quicker. My son was playing baseball with Tyrann Matthews' son a few years ago, same team, the old chief safety, just retired in New Orleans. And I remember he was at a game. I think he kind of recognized me, but he didn't know who I was. But I kind of always caught him like out of the corner of his eye trying to figure out who's this dude, And I kind of recognize that's kind of how you are on the field when you play, kind of like, okay, let me get a sense of who this dude is. What is he about? And, we started talking and we hit it off, but it was like, you talk about game, recognizing game. That's the little stuff people don't recognize in athletes that make them great. Like their ability to move faster than everybody else isn't just because they're faster, it's because they're able to think faster and recognize things quicker and get a sense for who a guy is. And that's part of the game.
Yeah. We have that, definitely that sense of, okay, you know what? We know he's been through some of the same wars we've been through, or she's been through some of the same wars. Both ways, and that sense gets picked up, and it's all good.
It definitely is part of a recognizing. And one thing that I've always said, I said two people have the highest sense of character, and that's an athlete or a student, a child. They have the greatest sense of character. They can judge out, he can't play. They fake. You know what I'm saying? Either way, as soon as you see them walking for a touch of ball or whatever, you get
it. And to be honest with you, that reminded me of a funny story. Talk about when I first got to San Francisco and Bay Area, I was covering the Niners and the Raiders. I was walking out to practice at the 49ers. This is back when they had Jerry Rice and Steve Young and these guys, and you had to walk out of the locker room, and there was maybe about 100-yard walk to the practice field where they were at. And I was walking out one day, and I was the last guy out, and Dwight Clark, who's rest in peace, he died a few years ago, was the general manager of the 49ers. So he was walking out at the same time, and I had not ever met him. It was my first time there. And I said, "Hey, Dwight, how you doing?" I'm Jeff Chadiha. He's like, "Hey, Dwight Clark, blah, blah, blah." And he was like, "Said you play ball?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I can tell by how you walk."
Oh, the walk.
Yeah.
I can tell by how you walk that you play ball. And it's kind of like, that kind of blew my mind. I was, but that's the thing. You know.
Know. You just know. Man,
I had that happen to me. at the DMV one time. These black ladies
when they thought you was Art Steele.
No. But look, it's funny that Jeff say that because I was going into the DMV and these black ladies were sitting out there smoking cigarettes, and I was walking by and she was like, "Oh yeah, you balled somewhere. I know you did. I could tell by that
walk." She was hitting on you.
Yeah, exactly.
She was trying to pick him up.
She was. I can't. I wasn't gonna lie that she was.
We're back in 75.
She was.
October baseball is delivering drama. We in the Major League Baseball playoffs, man. In the American League, the Blue Jays lead the Yankees 2-1. Last night, the Blue Jays were up 6-1 and ended up losing 9-6.
You talking to Dell? You know I don't talk baseball.
Nah, here we go again. He was traumatized, Jeff. He was traumatized in baseball.
That has a lot to do. You know how you started late in football, Jeff, at 11? I started at 11 in baseball, and being left-handed, I have to have the mitt on my left hand, catch it, take it off, like I was Jim Abbott. Jim Abbott. But I throw it back. Coach said, "Hey man, I think you're gonna need to go sit this season out, brother." So
his career.
Talk baseball on the show, man. I don't talk baseball. But then Dale told me I timed out. He said I was an old man when I started playing, so he made me feel a little bit better though.
Yeah. You was way too old to start playing baseball at 11.
He waited till in high school to pick up a glove.
Dale said I timed out like a 21-year-old in high school, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna ask you not to come back. I'm gonna ask you not to come back to school, man. You can drink, you can drive, you can do all kinds of things, man. You 21
Your high school career over, man.
Your high school career over, man. You ain't in nothing but the 6th grade, man.
So we got the Blue Jays leading the Yankees 2-1. The Mariners lead the Tigers 2-1. And then the National League, the Brewers, they lead the Cubs 2-0. They're in the game right now. Cubs are up 4-2 in the 5th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Dodgers lead the Phillies 2-0. So who you think coming out of this, Dale? Who's coming out of these? Blue Jays and Yankees, who's coming out?
I'm pulling for the Yankees, but it doesn't look promising for them right now. But I'm pulling for the Yankees. But the Blue Jays have had one heck of a year, and I think they're probably the better team, but I'm pulling for the Yankees.
Okay. I'm going with the Blue Jays. I'm pulling for the Blue Jays. I like to see them come on through. They got a nice pitching staff, and they've been hitting.
They came back the Yankees came back on
them.
Yeah, but Vlad Jr. He's hit 3 homers in a row. Three games in a row.
Yeah, they got some serious offense. The Tigers just won before I came over.
The game was going on. So is it 2-2 now?
It's 2-2 now.
2-2.
They won 9-3.
9-3. You are so right. Yep. So it's 2-2 tied up with the Mariners and Tigers. Who comes out of that one? I'm going with I'm going with the Tigers. I'm looking at them.
Oh no. No, don't be trying to take things from the state of Indiana and Michigan. No. Oh my bad.
You're right. That is Detroit.
Yeah, that is Detroit. Yeah.
Then I take that back. I'll never go with DB on nothing.
I didn't talk to you about that money, Dan. You see, I talked about that money. I talked about that money, man.
I'm still going with Detroit.
Oh, see, when he do that and when I did the Jaguars, see what I'm talking about?
But you didn't stick with yours.
I did. I said Wakanda forever.
That
claw.
What is that?
It's a cat. You know that's a tiger, right?
I do.
Detroit Tigers, right? It's a cat. You know the other one that's coming in town too. One of the other sports teams too.
So who you picking, Dale? Who you picking, Dale? Yeah, you always trying to get me off, man.
Yeah, I got Seattle in that one.
Seattle in that one. All right.
Brewers. He's on Broadway. Okay.
In the National League, the Brewers and the Cubs. Brewers lead the Cubs 2-0. Who you like in that one?
Brewers.
Yeah. Brewers been the best team in baseball all year.
I got to go with the Brewers. Even though they're down right now, I don't have no doubt they're going to win this series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Do we even need to pick between the Dodgers and the Phillies? Do we even need to say anything?
Not for me.
Okay, me neither. We already know, man. Magic, they got the second best bats in history. They got power. They got a little bit of running. Balls.
Yep.
Dodgers.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, Dodgers, definitely. Jeff, you work at some of the biggest names in sports media. Sports Illustrated, ESPN, NFL media. When did it first really hit you? Like, yeah, I belong here. I belong in sports journalism.
Probably when I went to Sports Illustrated. It was 2000. And I was 28, 29 years old. And, I'll never forget because I was working in the Bay Area. And there was a guy named Mike Silver who's been around forever, who's writing for Sports Illustrated. He came up to me one time, and I had some big stories on the Raiders and the 49ers. And he was like, "Hey, man, I really like your work. and you should give my people a call. I think you'd be good for us. And I was like, really? And I was like, because I had only been writing for like 5 or 6 years total. And I said, yeah, call this dude and send him some stuff and see what happens. And the guy's name was Rob Flater. And so I was sending some stuff, an envelope, and didn't think about it. And then about 4 months later, I was on vacation in Puerto Rico. And I was in like a real backwoods part of Puerto Rico, like where you had chickens running around on the ground.
You was in the
yeah, exactly. So I had gone like to the phone to check my messages back home because you couldn't. It was different back then. You had to call a number to get your voicemail off your cell. And there was like 5 or 6 messages, and the last message was from Rob Flater. And he was like, hey, this is Rob Flater from Sports Illustrated. I read your stuff. Want you to come in and meet with everybody. And so I was like, I called him back right away, and I said, hey, this is Jeff. I said, hey, I appreciate you calling me, but I'm not trying to like be like a fact checker. That was like the entry level job there where you just check other people's work. He's like, no, he wants you to be a writer. I was like, I'm sitting in Puerto Rico, all these chickens around me, and people ain't speaking English. So I'm like, this dude really wants me to get on a plane. And so I got on the plane, came home, flew out there in April of that year, and walked in the offices, middle of Manhattan, and was like, these guys want me to be at Sports Illustrated. And so that was the first moment. And the second moment, we had a Christmas party later that year, and I walked into the room, and there were all these people who I'd read and been around seeing, like Peter King and Rick Riley and Tom Verducci, and I was like, it was like walking into an all-star game, like as an NBA player. You walk in, you see all these big name people, and you're like, damn, these are the best writers in the world. And I'm at the same table sitting here. There's a lot of pressure that came with that, but that's when it kind of hit me that, okay, I've arrived. Like, I've really gotten to a different level here. This is not just, and again, it was a little bit daunting, and I definitely went through my ups and downs at first, but it was like, okay, that was the moment that changed everything for me.
Okay. So when that moment came, did you change anything, or did you just?
I remember the first story I did. I had to go to New Mexico to do a story on Brian Urlacher, who was come out of college, going to the Bears, and I'd always been a pretty good writer and knew what I wanted to write and how I wanted to write it. And I remember the first time I sat down to write a story on him, I was in a hotel in Chicago and had spent time with him in New Mexico and his family doing his work. And I was sitting down to write, and I was like, it just hit me like, okay, like millions of people are going to read this. And it's only going to be like 7 stories in this magazine. One of them is going to be me.
Yeah.
If I jack this up, so that I got the stage fright. It hit me, and I was like, I don't know. It took me forever to get going. Got through it, but again, it was kind of like, and I tell younger people this too. I do a lot of teaching. It's like, because all these kids want to be at the top, right? Right at the start of everything they do. And I always tell them, it's like, it's good to know who you are once you get to those positions. Like, I was still learning, and I had to work through that. It's easier to make. Brian Burrow was a guy I was close to early in my career, who died as well. And he used to always tell me, you want to make your mistakes when no one's watching. He says, in the middle of, you're on a big platform, everybody sees you. And so when you make a mistake, people are a lot more scrutiny on you. So I had to work through that. Ralph Wiley was a guy who was a long-time columnist who I talked to a few times to help me get through it because he'd been there before. But that's the thing. And in that world, man, I go back to playing in Wyoming or going to a Catholic school, like, it kind of helped that I'd been, a minority in a situation. Like, most everybody there was either white or Ivy League or both. And so you do question yourself a little bit. And so I had to work through that. But again, it's, that's where I think mentoring and the lessons you learn growing up and people reaching out to you, all that stuff helped me find my way.
Okay. Well, let's recap week 5 for the NFL. Let's talk a little bit about that. It was wild. Week 5 was a little wild.
Which game? No, which game? Which game you talking about?
You go ahead and lead.
No.
You go ahead and call the game. Just put them out there.
You want me to put that game?
I mean, go ahead.
I want to talk about Arizona and who they lose to. Oh no, let's get back to the real game, man. What's up with them Chiefs, man?
The Broncos handed the Eagles their first loss, 21-17. Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't.
In the second half. But there's some, and I'm sure Jeff can attest to this. There's some mutiny going on that roster right now. Everybody crying about the ball, and I learned that A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts grew up as like best friends. They godparents to each other's kids, and they beefing about the ball. You 4-0.
4-1 now.
4-1 now. I mean, you 4-0 going into the game. You know, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But hey, everybody's got to get their numbers. You know, it's still part of that. The Super Bowl, they got their Super Bowl win. Now everybody want to get their numbers. They don't care about Super Bowl no more.
Well, I always look at it as two things. The hardest thing to do in sports is to maintain success. Once you're winning, it's hard to keep winning because egos start getting it.
Of course, yeah.
And then everybody wants this. Or the person who's not getting the write-ups or who's not getting the pictures or not getting the sports center, now if you give me the ball, I get it. And then they start looking at, like you said, we get a championship, now I need the money. So how do I get the money? Through the stats.
Right.
I got to produce something to get to that. So that's the hardest thing in the world, is to continue to win, to maintain the success, because then egos and everything else comes in. And you can see it in the play.
Right.
Now you can just kind of see it in the play. You can see that, hey, this person is trying to overdo something. This person, they're not connecting like they used to.
Right.
It's hard to see because they are still, I hate to say it, but they are still one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best.
Yeah. No, well, that's true. I mean, it's like going even deeper with that. It's like maintaining success. You forget how much stuff goes into it and how fragile it is, right? Like there's certain guys that leave the locker room that could sniff out a potential problem or go talk to a guy like A.J. Brown, pull him aside. So like I think about Brandon Graham being gone now. Williams, obviously Jason Kelce left a couple years ago. Like those are the dudes that could figure out, okay, let's bring it together. When I watch the Eagles now, I'm like, well, who are those guys now? Because the first game of the season, one of your best players, Jalen Carter, is getting suspended in the first game, spitting on Dak Prescott.
Before the game starts.
So he's one of your leaders now. He's out, Like, I love Jalen Hurts, but I think he probably behind the scenes is more talkative. But sometimes the way he carries himself, he's not pulling guys aside. He'll just let stuff go, right? Like if that's Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, and maybe they pull a receiver over, you need to calm down, to get it together. And so I look at them and think, okay, you got a lot of really good players, but sometimes Chiefs are going through this too. Sometimes you forget, just because you got the same jersey on, not the same team in the NFL.
Right.
Every year you're stepping out like about 30% of your team. And those guys that make up those second tier or even your stars, if someone's in their ear talking about, oh, you did more than people realize, you deserve more of this, it can get out of control in a hurry. That's why it's hard to repeat.
Yeah.
Let's roll over. You mentioned that Jaguars stunned the Chiefs 31-28, and it was Trevor Lawrence's birthday. Birthday gift?
Huh?
Birthday gift?
The man fell down twice to give y'all a chance to tackle him, man.
I've been wanting to say this. The man fell down twice, and nobody even put a finger on him.
Well, Chris Jones
And
was
then
just chilling. He was chilling. He took the play off.
He went to remote control.
We was letting them score. We was letting them score.
Hey, in a film session, the real film session, we were like, hold on. Hey, that's you right there, right? That's you. Hold on. No, it ain't me, coach. No, that's you. That's you. Right. Hold on, let's rewind it. Oh, hold on, let's play it again. It would have been like a five-time play on that one.
Yeah.
We was letting them score.
Mo.
It worked. It worked.
Mo, it's funny because Damon said, you watched any of the game? I said, no, I missed it. I said, well, the Chiefs give it away. He said, no, the Jaguars. I went back and watched the highlights. Yeah, they gave the game away.
No, they didn't.
They gave
Jaguars
it away.
took that game.
No, they
didn't.
didn't.
Hating on the other teams that play against the Chiefs, man.
Questionable pass interference call.
Questionable. He mugged that man in the end zone, man. He didn't see no part of the ball coming.
This is when the CH come out. Just watch.
What?
I'm not talking about that one.
Which one?
Before that.
No, they got away. The Chiefs got away with two. They got away with one offensive pass interference in the first half. They should have called that. And the second one, when Trevor Lawrence threw the interception, that should have been a pass interference call too because the receiver fell down.
Okay.
Smashed right into him.
Okay. If you say so.
I'm just saying. But y'all be saying I'm hating.
They gave the game away.
You know, I mean, this is all facts, no filter.
Hey Jeff, we always got to put a hotline number on it. Anytime the Chiefs lose, right? I have to put a hotline number. We have flashing across the screen because these two right here, boy, they be working my last nerve cheering for the Chiefs all the time, boy.
They're in a little bit of trouble though. When you look at that down the road though, it's like they got about 6 tough games coming up here. I put the Raiders in the tough game category too because they played them tough the last couple of years and beat them. Beat them 2 years ago and could have beat them last year if the kid doesn't drop the football at the end, the quarterback. And so you start talking about the Lions coming in here. You talk about the Raiders. You talk about the Commanders, and then you got the Bills. You got
the Colts
and the Colts. The Colts. And so they're 2-3 right now. I don't see them losing all those games or going 1-5, but 5 and 6 is definitely by the end of this stretch real, and 4 and 7 is on the table. Like they get to 4 and 7, it's going to be a rough road to get in the playoffs. So they got some tough. I don't care if Rashee Rice coming back or not. It's going to be a rough road with those teams coming in.
It is.
I don't think I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think Rashee Rice is the answer to the problem. I think the answer to the problem is they've got to start getting back to the basics. Like they're missing a lot of basics. And I think it starts in the locker room, but it's just missing a lot of basics, especially on defense. It's a lot of missed plays. Offense, you know, and I'm gonna say it again. I do believe this. I think he's a great athlete, but Patrick Mahomes needs to learn to manage the team a little better. He's got to be able to make the check down plays, the throws. He's got to be able to do that to where we can just move the chains. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, another thing too, I think people keep thinking it's like 2022, where they just go out and score a whole bunch of points, win the game, and like I said,
they don't have that team.
The team changes. I've always said throughout this whole run, it really comes down to they've had a lot of different faces, but their stars have played at a high level when they needed it most. Whether that's usually Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, and Tyreek Hill back in the day. Right. And now think about the last 3 losses they've had. We've been talking about Travis Kelsey. We've been talking about Chris Jones, in one form or another, or sometimes in both games.
Yeah, right.
And so those guys, they're paying those guys a lot of money. The other guys are okay, but those are the guys that when they've won, those guys have made a lot of plays, and they're just not doing it the same way.
And Mahomes to a little bit because he threw a pick six.
Yep.
Threw a pick six, didn't play as well. So their superstars aren't being super.
The coach dropped 40 on the Raiders.
Light work. Yeah.
They balled. Hey, the Texans blew out the Ravens 44-10.
Oh, light work right there too.
Oh, now
they call the Crows.
Now
they are the Baltimore Crows now.
Love team so much, Dale. Man, one day
what are you talking about? Baskin Robbins, man. I got one team.
Okay, well at least he keeps it real, man.
Yeah, that's true.
I said this before, Dale.
You have said it.
I have said this before.
Yeah,
I've got 31 teams.
You said it.
Yeah.
That's why you're an all-time CH.
Chiefs hater.
He was big on the Ravens a couple weeks ago.
Big on the Ravens.
Oh, huge.
Look, Jeff, I have a reason. So the Raiders equipment manager was my basketball man.
Ravens.
Raiders. But I know some Raiders too. Don't worry about it. Raiderettes. You ever seen them girls dance?
Definitely.
They fine. So look, the Ravens, the Ravens equipment manager was my basketball manager in high school. He was a sophomore when I was a senior, so he grew up in Elkhart. And then I cheered for the Giants when they played the Chiefs because the GM of the Giants was my ball boy in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so he grew up we all grew up in pretty much the same neighborhood. So I have an allegiance to them because they're from home.
Here we go again.
Hey, it was funny. I was listening to T.I. motivation on the way in, and haters, get on your job. Was ready when I came in.
You on your job. He's definitely on his job, Dale. He's definitely on his job.
I don't hate the Chiefs. I don't hate the Chiefs. I just don't. I'm not a rah-rah fan of the Chiefs. I'm neutral.
Sounds good. Panthers rallied to beat the Dolphins 27-24. It rounds up our Week 5 recap. Jeff, that story about getting home at 6 a.m. and deciding, yeah, journalism is it. Man, that's legendary.
Yeah.
What was going through your head that night?
Oh man, you did some digging. Find that one out.
Oh, that boy be digging now. That boy be in them crates. He be digging in them crates now. That boy be digging in them crates.
He found some jewels down there. It was. I mean, just to give the audience a sense of what was going on. I was 25, and I had been working at a newspaper in Ann Arbor with, real short story. Jason Whitlock.
Yeah, Whitlock
was at Ann Arbor News when I came out of college, and so we worked together for a couple years. And he left to come here to be a columnist in Kansas City, and he always encouraged me, "Hey, stick around because you'll get my job covering Michigan's basketball and football team." The Fab Five was still there. Some of Jimmy King and Ray Jackson. Mm-hmm. So I did that, but I was still kind of like, okay, where is journalism going? Like, is it happening fast enough for me? Am I getting, moving up fast enough? And so I was kind of on the fence about what to do. So I started thinking about going to law school, and I started taking some classes, some LSAT prep classes to do it in the spring of like 96. And I was going to take the test in like about a month. And my roommate, a guy named PJ Bowman, who played at Illinois, with Steve Bardo and Kendall.
Yeah. I remember that.
He was graduating from medical school. And so he was going to have a big party. And I had gotten a call from the San Francisco Examiner, their sports editor, Glenn Schwartz, asked me to come out and take a tour of the city. And the Raiders were coming back from Oakland to Oakland. And I went out and enjoyed the deal. And I was like, man, I'm on the fence about this now because I've done all this work to go to law school, but this job in California sounds exciting. So PJ was having his graduation party, graduating from medical school. And Bardo was up. We all went out. And I told myself, if I go out and I stay out late, I'm going to San Francisco. I'm not going to take this test. Like,
Right.
But if I get home, I'm responsible. I go out, have some fun, get home early at 9 o'clock, have a good time, but get some rest. I'm going to law school. And so, long story short, we end up at some strip club out suburban Detroit, 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess I'm going to California. Yeah. I'm going to California. And like, all of a sudden, the right dancer showed up, and it was like that was the decision. But sometimes, sometimes you're sitting here trying to weigh where do I go in life, fork on the road, and it was just. I mean, I don't know if I would enjoy law the way I've enjoyed this career, but when you're 25, man, you're just trying to figure it out, and it was just like let me give it a shot.
Right.
That's what it was.
Okay, let's pivot to something a little deeper. We're going to talk in our Coach's Corner right now. We're talking about life after sports. Now, we chose this topic because of you being our guest, and you talk about having to pivot from when you blew your knees out and having to change from playing sports, and you pivoted. So let's talk just a little bit about transitioning, pivoting, to something different and preparing for life after the game. At one time, the ball stops bouncing, the air comes out the ball. How do you transition and prepare for that? A lot of times, athletes lose their identity, who they are, because they've been playing sports so long, and that's just how they're known. That's their reputation, and they believe that's them.
Yep.
How do we transition? How do we talk to athletes about that transition into life after the sport? Dale, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go. Well, first, I think you have to, even while you're playing sports, while you're still in the midst of it, you have to know who you are. And if you know who you are, then you're able to make certain decisions. Like Jeff said, he put himself in a position where he had options. He could go to law school or he could go the sports journalism route. And so you have to know who you are so you can make those decisions and understand that you're not going to be, you're not going to play sports forever. There's going to come a day when there's no more air in the ball. And it's hard for us to rationalize that because we want to play, but you're not going to play forever. And so I think you just have to be willing and able. And I think playing sports, it gives you the ability to be able to pivot, because there's always ups and downs and adversity that you have to deal with while you're playing. And so when that comes to an end, you go into this career that may not work, but you have the ability to pivot into something else because you're accustomed to that type of adjustment that you've had to make throughout your entire career.
DB, what's your take on that?
Well, I've always considered like anything that you do is your vehicle to take you from A to B. I was very fortunate to have athletics take me from, a place in Elkhart, Indiana that I could not. I know that we didn't have the money to get to college if I didn't I didn't have some sort of the arts, music, whatever. It was athletics. And then when I've been very fortunate that I've always been in sports, but when I stopped playing, it was tough. It was more of a family decision. Back then, I had just had my oldest daughter, and when I had my oldest daughter, I wasn't around as much. And when I wasn't around as much, it kind of, it kind of threw everybody off that I wasn't around. So I made a decision to stop being a player and to being a coach. And when I first became a coach, I thought like I was a player. So it was very tough to try to find that balance. And, and then it got to, changing. You always got to know that basketball is what I do. It's not who I am. And once you know that, to attest to some of the things even what Dale said, and knowing that, okay, that light over there is not shining, but maybe this light over here is shining because you prepared yourself. At some point during my playing career, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. I have a degree in communication, so I was like, okay, was I going to be part of TV? Was I going to be a coach? Was I going to be a teacher and a coach? Those were all the things that I was trying to test out during the time. Was I going to be in sales? But I was doing that stuff in like my off seasons from playing overseas, and I was just trying to figure it out while I still was in my 20s. So, but I've been very fortunate. But sometimes, a lot of athletes have to realize that when the lights go out in one room, maybe that next room, that next door that you go through, the lights are shining brighter in something that you already been built up for.
Jeff, what would you say to athletes?
A lot of what these guys just said, I'd echo it. Excuse me. My experience was a little different because, I started playing football when I was in 10th grade. I was more into basketball. My high school coach talked me into playing football. And then I took off immediately. All of a sudden, I was getting recruited after that first year of playing. And then by the time I was a junior, I was one of the best players in the state. And, talking to Stanford and Indiana and Colorado and Michigan State. I always tell the story about when I was going to my senior year, like George Perlis called me up and said, "Hey, I need you to come up to the football camp we're having." My high school coach was up there working, and I took me and my two brothers up there. And in front of all these kids, all these campers, he was like, "Hey, man, I've coached Andre Rison, I've coached Carl Banks. I know you are in the same category as these guys. I want you to know, no matter what happens, you got a scholarship at Michigan State. You come here, you get hurt, whatever happens." And so that was the first one I had, and other schools offered. And then what happens? I get hurt, and then I'm playing through the whole season with a banged up knee. All of a sudden, all these schools start falling off. Schools that send coaches to my house, to my school. Not some people talk about being recruited. Like I was literally like visits set up.
Yeah.
People in the house pitching me, and all of a sudden they were all gone. And so what ended up happening was the coach at Michigan State at the time, defensive coordinator, this guy Norm Parker, he called a guy at Wyoming, Greg Brown, who was a secondary coach. I was a safety. He said, "Hey, we're not going to take this kid. We've offered him a scholarship, but we're not going to. We're pulling him back now. But you might want to take him." And so when I got to college, it was like I'm going to Wyoming to prove everybody wrong. Everybody that screwed me over. I had this chip on my shoulder,
Right.
and I was doing it for the wrong reasons. All of a sudden it was like I wasn't thinking about where I'm going to go, what I wanted to do. My dream was to have a scholarship, and then once I had it, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna show people what this is all about. And so I ended up having surgery on my left knee, ACL tear. I come back for spring ball the next year. I tear the other ACL. So before I'm even 2 years into college football, I got two significant injuries. And back in the 80s, like one ACL tear was like career threatening.
Yeah.
So I have two.
Yeah.
And so I went through they're talking about, I realized, okay, this is probably not going to happen for me. So I transferred back to Michigan to go to school and get my degree. But I went through that depression, and that's who am I, asking all these questions. I had friends who were playing at Michigan, get friends other parts of the Big Ten. It took a while to find it. And fortunately I did find it. But what I would tell kids is, a lot of what they're saying, like you got to figure out who you are, what you want to get from it. You got to go find. I'm big on mentoring now because I didn't really have a mentor at that time because I was the only kid in my school getting a Division I offer. So I tell kids, go find people who are doing what you're doing, who are in colleges, and ask them about their experience. Ask them what they're doing. Ask them what coaches are telling them. Like, some people get caught up in, my kids are D1 this, and they look down at D2 or NAI or whatever. It's like, go someplace where you're wanted, where you're supported,
Number one,
where you can play, where you can get a degree, and get off. Because I got caught up in the bright lights and all that stuff and wanting to be a star. And so, long story short, when I got finally into what I'm doing now, I realized, okay, I didn't work as hard as I probably should have worked when I was an athlete. A lot of stuff came my way. I got caught up in the wrong stuff. And so I spent more time thinking about what do I want to do? Right. What am I going to get out of this? And do I have a talent for this? And who can help me learn about this? And so I was way more professional about it, and that helped me. I think people have to understand that college sports today it's professionalism.
Yeah,
you got to approach it like a business. That's what I would tell people.
Now, you've never shied away from the bigger conversations that have to do with race, identity, social issues in sports. What's it like carrying that responsibility as a storyteller?
Well, it's important for me because, one, I think that the world is moving so fast now. It's almost scary how much kids don't understand history, are unaffected by what's happening in the world. And so we're all children of the 70s and 80s. And so we know what it's like. We all watch Soul Train. We all watch What's Happening. We all watch Good Times. We watched it because that's where we saw ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And so just because we're in a place now where the culture is more inviting to us or allowing more of our music and our images and, we've got more clout, that doesn't mean things have gotten all that much better.
Right.
And so for me, it's important to constantly be talking about, giving people voices who don't have the voices, touching on issues that people don't talk enough about, trying to get beyond the games and the numbers and all this stuff and get back to the humanity of the people that I cover. And to me, it's like, I think you have to constantly be having these conversations because we're living in a world now where too many people either want to change history or ignore it. Or reframe it,
recreate it.
And so we have to constantly be mindful of, hey, we want to move forward and be the community we want to be, to have the culture we want to have, the society we want to have. Got to keep having these conversations.
Hey, we're almost to the end. Let's get to our picking winners. Last week, our totals are DB unofficially 2-7, unofficially.
Officially 2-7, trash.
Unofficially,
you don't get extra points for the Chiefs, Jaguars. You get extra points for picking the Jaguars.
He got extra points.
Okay,
he definitely got extra points. Dale and me, we are 3-6 from last week.
Technically trash. Y'all ain't making the playoffs neither. But go ahead.
I'm gonna say it like he said, Dale. We got more wins than you.
This week. Y'all did. That's what I said.
Last week too.
No, last week was tied, wasn't it?
Not with you.
Oh, you guys, you know what? You guys are up 2 games total the whole time.
Well, if you'd like to say it.
I'm about to win. I'm about to get back in it.
Just like he was up 1 game, Dale. But now we're up 2. All right.
That's because y'all like to pick against me.
Oh, now we want to pick against
you. Go ahead.
This guy here.
Go ahead. Watch me change my pick midway through. No.
Let's get with the NCAA. Let's go. Michigan versus USC. I'm going with Michigan.
I'm going with Michigan too.
Oh, they brown nose at Chadiha today. Oh my God.
What you going?
Going with your head or your heart?
Out at USC. I watch USC play. Yeah, the Wolverines are gonna win.
What? Wow. You talking about us? Hey, Jeff.
He just asked me if I gonna go with my head or my heart. So I gotta go with my head.
Jeff, he did that for you because he ain't no way.
No. Look, I watched USC play Michigan State. I watched them play Illinois. Yeah.
In all the years I've known you, you've never picked Michigan to win a game.
Going Michigan.
Yeah, I just want the keys. Cut this in a clip and make sure we just we got Damon saying, I'm going with the Wolverines.
We making a t-shirt?
Yeah, we putting your face on it.
Haters.
Going with the Wolverines.
Oh, man.
Mo.
Yeah.
I've never heard him pick Michigan to win anything, ever.
Me neither.
Jeff.
Now Jeff's here all of a sudden.
Me and Jeff have had many Michigan State, Michigan parties. You know, we have, you know. He probably, it's the first time he probably ever heard me say it too, man.
But you did, and it's recorded. And we're gonna replay it.
Hey, I gotta go all facts with no filter on this. Michigan's gonna kick USC's ass. This is a true story.
Okay. Now, Michigan State versus UCLA. I'm taking UCLA.
Oh Lord. This dude.
I got Michigan State.
Thank you. I'm gonna be at the game, so it's gonna be Michigan State. Okay. UCLA's got some nice cheerleaders, but that's not gonna help them in East Lansing.
No, not at all.
Okay. You care to pick one?
I'll take Spartans.
Spartans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. KU, Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Texas
I'm
Tech.
taking KU.
Is that what your heart or your head, man? Have you seen Texas Tech play?
I'm taking KU.
Where that game at?
It don't matter.
Don't matter. I'm
Okay.
taking KU.
All right, there you go.
If it was at Michigan State, I'm taking KU.
Yeah, I ain't coming up there, man. What you talking about, man?
Just because we play in the NCAA. Y'all still in triple.
Y'all trying to get into the Big Ten.
Who you got?
Jeff, who you got, Jeff?
I got Tech. I'll take Tech.
You got Dale. You got
Tech. Texas Tech.
You know y'all trying to get into the Big Ten, and we told y'all no. We told y'all we put y'all on hold.
From behind the door, huh?
Yeah, we put them on hold. Kansas said we going to the Big Ten. They was like, we're gonna put this call on hold. The music still playing on hold.
Hey, y'all just got y'all football Big Ten status back. You know what I'm saying?
Who did?
Michigan State.
Where was the Big 12 been then?
I said not this team.
No. We're
Michigan State.
We're a basketball school.
We know that. We know that. All right, we got Ohio State versus Illinois.
Ohio State.
This gonna be at Illinois too. Ohio State will win that one. This is gonna be a tough pick for Jeff though. He got his.
I want Ohio State.
Yeah, I think that's
You think Ohio
good.
State?
Yeah,
they are. They pretty good. They are pretty good. Illinois. It depends on what Illinois team show up. If the one that played against IU show up, Ohio State gonna probably have 75 on them.
What about Oregon versus Indiana?
Ooh.
IU.
At Oregon.
Oh man.
IU. I'm going with the Hoosiers.
Oregon's number 2. Oregon's number 2. IU's number 7.
Yeah. I think Oregon.
Ooh.
I got the Hoosiers.
Quack, quack.
Big Nettie.
Quack, quack.
You going to Oregon?
Yep. It's at Oregon.
It's at Oregon. Yep.
Yeah.
You going IU there?
Yeah, got it.
Going with the Hoosiers. I can't go against the Hoosiers. My boys are AD. I gotta ride with them.
Go with that. I'm going with Dale. I'm gonna rock with you this week, Dale. I can't side with my guy.
I act like y'all Dutch and King from White Man Can't Jump, man.
I'm just
202. Dutch and King. We gonna go play Dutch and King. That's how y'all act. White Man Can't Jump, man. Yeah, what you gonna be? You gonna pick? I'm gonna pick. You gonna pick? All right, go ahead.
Man, there goes a little bit of that haterade.
Here we go.
You still sounding jealous.
What's the next game?
Mizzou versus Alabama.
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 Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Going Mizzou?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm going with Bama.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You know.
I'm going with Bama.
You know.
I'm going with Bama on that one. We all got Bama. Let's go to the NFL. I'm going with Chiefs. Chiefs versus Lions. Lions versus Chiefs. I'm going on Sunday Night Football.
That's your head or your heart, man?
I'm going with Chiefs. That's both.
Okay.
Now, what are you choosing?
You
What
can.
you choosing?
What do you think?
No, I'm asking.
What do you think?
I have no idea because last week when I said you wasn't, this week you said you. What do you want?
Call me Simba, the Lion King, baby.
Okay, let it be known. Let it be known.
How they gonna stop?
I just let it be known.
You know, the Lions have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a very good quarterback.
Every team has
and they came in here last year and beat y'all. They ain't scared.
Every team has that. Every team.
No, not every team has. No, not every team. I said really good ones though.
No.
Good ones. Good ones.
Dale, what you want, Dale?
I got to. I'm rolling with the Chiefs.
Oh my God.
Jeff.
Yeah, I can't go home without this Lions.
Oh, you can't go home.
Yeah.
All right, we got 49ers versus the Buccaneers.
I got Tampa Bay.
That game at where? Tampa?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, time zone. Yeah. Bucks.
That's a long way.
I'm going with the Bucks too.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield might win the MVP this year.
Yeah, I know. He balling.
Where he's going.
Yeah. The 49ers shocked us against the Rams though. So
yeah.
Okay. So everybody
that's probably a 1:00 game too, so that's gonna be terrible.
Cowboys versus the Panthers.
Oh my God. Do we have to pick this one?
Ooh, that's a tough one, but I'm going with the Panthers.
Oh God.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys.
In Dallas.
This man gonna be 0-12 next week.
Let's see. Seahawks and Jaguars.
Ooh.
Jaguars.
Where that game at?
I think it's Jacksonville.
I think it's Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jaguars myself.
Yeah. I'll make it consensus.
Patriots versus Saints.
Patriots.
And that's a pretty great game this week.
Hey, what are we doing? Our show is going downhill, man. Why are we picking the Patriots and the Saints, man?
Hey, look, you can call another one, but I was trying to give you. I was trying to give you a win.
Patriots just went to Buffalo and beat the Bills. They on a roll
at Buffalo. Wow.
Well, we all picking the Pats.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we got it. That's our picking winners for the week. Jeff, one last question before we get out of here. If your story was told in chapters, what would you call the one you're living in right now? And what kind of chapter or spotlight reel?
I would think this is probably more reflection, you know, because I'm teaching class at KU, class at UMKC. I'm helping to coach my kids' football team. And I think I'm at a point in my life where I want to teach kids the lessons that I learned growing up and some I didn't learn growing up. And so I spent a lot of time, again, I believe in mentoring. I've done a lot of that in my life, but I think just being around young kids and trying to help give them some sense of how to proceed, how to reach their dreams and being available to them, meeting them at their level. That's kind of, that's my thing right now. And so I probably say my biggest thing is reflection, giving back and trying to use some of the things that some of the blessings I've had and share them with other people.
We appreciate having you with us today.
Hey, it's great being here.
Thank you for stopping by. Great session always. And, you know, this is the first time DB's even had, you know, halfway of acted okay. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you.
He's been sedated, huh?
Hey, listen. I know how to act in front of company.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You don't act up in front of company, man. You don't act up in front of company, man.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's Game Recognized Game. All facts, no filters. From NFL battles to college football chaos, from the WNBA playoffs to our coach's corner, we cover it all. Shout out to everybody tuning in, dropping comments, and riding with us. Don't forget to hit that follow, like, and share button. Keep the conversation going. We'll be back next week with more scores, more picks, and more real talk. Until then, stay locked in because game always recognize game. We out.
We out.